Is that new iPhone you just bought or you're about to buy the real deal or just another sophisticated fake designed to trick you? Don't be scammed. With the market flooded with convincing copies, knowing the difference between a genuine Apple product and a clever imposter is very crucial more than ever. Well, today I'm revealing the insider secrets, hidden codes, and critical checks that even Apple doesn't tell you about when buying an iPhone. We are going beyond the surface to explore the truth about every iPhone's authenticity, its hidden history, and whether the parts are truly original and genuine as they claim. This isn't just about avoiding a bad deal. It is about protecting your hard-earned money and unlocking some peace of mind with your devices. So let's dive in and expose some fakes. Before you consider paying for any iPhone, you need to first of all run a physical check on the device to assess the current state of the device's hardware before you even commit a dime. First call to action is to hold the device and check its weight. Does it feel premium, suspiciously light, or too heavy? Then from there, you need to move on to check the edges of the phone for seams and gaps. Raw iPhones are very seamless and gapless, so there are no openings and the edges are very intentional. Then you also need to check very well how the branding of the phone has been done, because Apple, in their older phones, they put the Apple logo just a little beneath the camera angle, so it's a little higher than in the middle of the phone. But their latest devices, starting from the iPhone XR, Apple decided to put the logo right in the middle of the phone, so it's aligned perfectly, even to the power on animation when you turn on the phone. Once all that has been confirmed, you now proceed to check every button and port on the phone. Mind you, unless the device is an older generation iPhone like the iPhone 4, 5 or 6 series, you shouldn't expect to see an audio jack or earpiece connection port on the device, because Apple moved that starting from the iPhone 7 to make everything fit into the lightning port. Any newer iPhone model you see that has an audio jack port should be a call for an alarm. Once that has been confirmed, you proceed to check your power button and volume button. Now you need to press each of these individual buttons to make sure they are performing the function they need to perform well and not need any extra effort from you for them to function. Then you also need to make sure the mute button, or if in this case you are buying a newer Apple flagship, the action button is working perfectly and is in perfect condition. One other key thing you also need to pay vivid attention to is the lightning port or charging port of the device. So you need to make sure this port is perfectly aligned to the phone symmetry, and it's also not choked with dirt, because if it's choked with dirt, of course it's going to affect how it's going to respond to your usage. Eject the SIM tray of the phone and check how many SIMs are in there. iPhones are made to accept only one physical SIM, and for the newer devices, they are able to take an extra SIM, which is an eSIM. So if you eject the SIM and in the same compartment you see two SIMs, that should be a call for an alarm. And you also need to make sure your phone does not have a port or a section for micro SD, because Apple has never and will never make an iPhone that will accept micro SD card. The display of your iPhone plays a very critical role in your user experience of this device, so you need to check very well that your iPhone is using the right display. You see, most of the time some of these repairers or refurbishers exchange the original OLED AMOLED display which Apple has been using for their iPhone since 2020. Some of these refurbishers remove it and replace them with cheaper alternatives that might actually not give you the experience you would expect from an iPhone. So if you are buying an older iPhone, maybe an iPhone older than 2017, 2018, you need to check the bezels of the phone. So let's say an iPhone 7, iPhone 8, check if the bezels are well aligned and uniform from all angles, and also view the screen from different angles to see if there are any suspicious color changes from any angle. And also, to crown off the hardware check, it's highly advised to test your Touch ID if it's an older device and it's a newer Apple flagship. Then you're supposed to check your Face ID to see if it's working. If these features don't set up properly, it's either the phone has been tampered with or is convincingly a fake. Now that all the hardware checks have been done and confirmed, we need to proceed to do our software checks, because that's what we spend most of our time interacting with. In this situation, we first have to boot up the iPhone. Every new iPhone from the iPhone 7 series coming upwards to the latest, which is 17, the boot up logo comes in white on a black background. So if yours displays otherwise, then you should know there is something wrong with the phone. After the phone has successfully booted up, first thing to check is, does the phone have App Store or Play Store? Because as earlier said in this video, some of these fakes are very sophisticated, so you need to do your software checks very well. Some of these phones might look very identical to an iPhone, but you go and check and it has Play Store instead of App Store, so you need to check that. And then once that is confirmed, proceed to download some iOS only apps to see if they are available on your device. Once that is done, you also need to set up your Siri to see if it's working, because some of these devices, if are fake, Siri might not work because they are not from Apple. You also need to check the iOS version of your device. To do this, open your settings app, go to general, go to about, and go to software version. This must clearly show the current iOS version your phone is running in the format such as 17.0.1 or anything in that format, but not just a flat number, because Apple won't do that. Let's now go to the most interesting part of this conversation, which is the secret codes and hidden settings you need to check on every iPhone before you consider paying for it. The first thing we need to understand to proceed in this session is Apple's model number system. So let's first open our settings app, go to general, about, and look for the model number of the device you are currently holding. The first letter of your iPhone's model number tells the phone's story. So if it's an M, it means the phone is brand new. If it's an F, it's a refurbished device. If it's an N, then it means it was a replacement unit. And if it's a P, it means this phone is a personalized engraving. So if someone sells you an iPhone claiming it's brand new, and you later unbox the device only to realize the model number starts with an N or an F, it means the person lied to you and the phone was never a brand new but either a refurbished or replacement unit to someone else. Once all that is done and confirmed that you're okay to proceed, the next thing you need to do is to check the battery health of the device. So you go to your settings app, go to battery and battery health. If it's a used device you're buying, you should target a battery health within the ranges of 80% or 90. If it's lesser, you might have a problem with the batteries anytime soon after buying it. And if it's too high, especially at 100%, you should inquire from your seller if the battery of the device has been changed before or not, because it's very suspicious for a used device to still have its battery capacity at 100. If it says service or unknown parts, the battery in itself might not be original or has degraded drastically. The final and the most crucial check you need to conduct on your device now is IMEI and coverage check. So to do this, dial *#06#. The moment you press the last hash, the phone is supposed to display the IMEI number of your device you are currently holding. So if the device uses only one SIM, it's supposed to display only one IMEI number. And if it's a dual SIM device, like a device that uses a physical and an eSIM, it should display two IMEI numbers. From there, you open your settings app and go to general, go to about and copy the serial number of your device. Once that has been copied, go to checkcoverage.apple.com and put your serial number there. This displays Apple's warranty cover of your phone, and if Apple doesn't recognize the serial number of your device, it's either the device is fake or have been highly modified or let's say refurbished in states that Apple does not recommend or by an authorized agent. Now you are armed with the ultimate iPhone detective kit, so you are never going to fall for a fake again. And knowing all this means the next time you are buying an iPhone, you are buying with confidence and you are buying smart. If this video helped you, consider smashing the subscribe button, like this video, share, and drop your opinions in the comment section below. Well, if you plan on buying a used iPhone anytime soon, or you know someone who deals in one, and you are interested in knowing the origins of these phones, then you might want to watch this video I did where I investigated the truth behind this massive second-hand phone market and the true origins of these devices that most dealers hide from you. So check out this video and let's meet in the next upload.